Today, we embark on our second offseason in this franchise, and this is primed to be our most important one because we have the third overall pick in the draft behind the Texans, who have the first two picks in the draft. They already have their franchise quarterback, and I've got my eyes on Damon Craig, one of the top prospects in this entire draft class. Beautiful spiral, stands tall in the pocket, always aware of pressure. He avoids sacks by throwing the ball away, and he plays well inside and outside of the pocket. He's got good accuracy, great two-way throw power, good strength. He can move, he can break sacks, he can carry the ball, he can do play action, he can throw it under pressure, he can throw on the run too. This guy is a stud at quarterback, and that's who we're going after today. But we also have pick 13 in this draft as well. So we have two first-round picks in the top half, and they are huge, huge moves to make. Those two players, probably on either side of the ball, are going to have huge impacts coming into next season. We also just franchise tagged Aaron Donald, but because Nakua had to be brought back off of the practice squad, we do have to re-sign him as well. So we're going to try and offer him a player-friendly deal to retain him for long term. So we're going to try and lock him down, leave him a bit more because this will cover what some of his next contract would have been if we were to re-sign him there. But I think 4 years makes sense. I think he's been a solid piece to this team for us, and hopefully he can accept this deal. And he does. For those who don't know, Sleeper is a fantasy sports app, but they also have a section for sports betting. This is called Sleeper Picks, and this is where you can bet on 2 to 8 leg parlays that you put together yourself on certain stat projections for different players across major sports leagues. For example, back in September when the Niners played the Giants, I took the over on touchdowns for McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel, the over on passing yards for Brock Purdy, and the under on passing yards for Daniel Jones. On a $20 bet, the multiplier comes out to 8.84, so the payout is $176.80. If you have not yet used Sleeper Picks, but you want to, then you can use my first deposit match code, and Sleeper will match your deposit up to $100. So if you put in $50, they'll put in $50 for you as well. If you put in $100, they'll put in $100. If you put in more, they will only put up to $100. So put in your first deposit using my match code Stumpy. The link is also in my description, and thanks for listening. Otherwise, though, here is who is departing this team. We have $93 million in cap room, most likely for this offseason, but James Robinson, Charles Omenihu, Scotty Miller, Tutu Atwell, Rob Havenstein, Justin Jones, Brian Allen, Coleman Shelton, and Leonard Floyd will all be hitting the market, and we're going to look to find their replacements or bring some of them back if that also fits what we're doing here. We also did hire a new OC after firing our guy at the end of the last season, but Will Hudson is our new offensive coordinator, and his preferred playbook before we hired him was the Kevin Stefanski playbook for West Coast Zone Run. So I think I'm going to change our playbook to that and start the year with that because I do want there to be a bit of a shift in the play calling. And I think, a good start is getting the right playbook with our new OC. So we're going to go to the Cleveland one and make that our new one. So Kevin Stefanski, Zone Run, West Coast scheme, just what we're looking for. And here's the free agent class. Top of the list is Hassan Reddick at left outside linebacker. And he does kind of prefer LA because we have a big market. We can afford him. And we're not really a Super Bowl contender, obviously. But Amari Cooper is also here at 31 years old. I'm a big fan of him. But he does not have any real interest in signing to us. We don't have a franchise quarterback yet either. But Tua Tagovailoa is free agent too from Miami. That is interesting. DeAndre Hopkins, Derek Brown, Ryan Stonehouse, Greg Newsome, DJ Reed. Wait. So we could sign... he has interest over Greg Newsome. Newsome has no interest in us. Has 6 offers. Reed has none. And high interest. Could be a really good second corner. I think that we could use, or we need a second corner above Shelley and Kobe Durant because those guys are good depth, but they're not good against, a number 1 or a number 2. So getting a guy to play alongside Richards could be big. So I will make an offer for DJ Reed for sure. And we'll start off with a 2-year deal here, about, 10 mil on the first cap hit and then 11 mil the next season. So we'll offer that one. That's our first one of 5. There's also a Wouzier available, Tommy Townsend, Stephon Gilmore, a lot of corners. There's also Jabril Peppers. Ooh, Eric Armstead. Now this is interesting. Even if you draft another defensive tackle, you could immediately get a really solid starter in Armstead and then have the other guy be kind of a backup in his first season, which I think, makes the most sense. Kind of like how the Cowboys are doing it with Mozzie Smith in real life. So I think, I'll definitely throw an offer his way. He has interest in us because we're a warm weather state. It's close to home, which is California. Why not? And for him, I might do a 1-year deal. But, we have plenty of cap room to spend, and I want to improve this team's stat. And honestly, with Hassan Reddick, could you potentially bring him in on, a nice, sizable contract for a couple of seasons, play him on the other side of Aaron Donald at left end, and then still have Young and Baz Knight get playing time too? I think that could be a really, really dangerous pass rush that every team would have issues with. This would give us still 50 mil left to spend. I'm going to lower the offer a little bit and see what is out there for him. But I'm going to throw that offer out there. We do have the top offer over the Patriots, and it's not even really that great of an offer. So I'm going to lower this a little bit because we can afford to lower it. So we'll lower this by a couple million, see what we get now. We're still on the top of the list. So we're going to keep that one there because, why not make this defense as best as it can possibly be? And then I do want to address center here, and I don't feel confident in the draft, really. We could get David Andrews for 1 season and then still look to the draft for a backup or something. There's also Nick Harris here, but he's 26 years old, probably close to regressing. He's only a 71 overall. I think I would just want a more sure veteran instead, who is better than Brian Allen. He's got a couple offers out there. We might have to battle for this one a little bit. So we'll up our offer a tad and see what's out there for him. It looks like we are the top offer. I'm comfortable sitting that offer where it is, though, because we don't have a high interest for him. And we did release or just let Rob Havenstein walk. He has no other offers right now. He has not really regressed that much, and he played well last year. Not opposed to bringing him back because he's by far the best option at right tackle. And left tackle, you could bring in Deion Dawkins or Garrett Bowles as his replacement. Let me take a look at Bowles here. I can't actually view his player card. There we go. He allowed 10 sacks this year for the year before. And for Dawkins, he allowed 9 this year, so this one less. Havenstein probably did not allow that much, I don't think, right? I think it was around 5. 3. Yeah, I think we can afford to bring him back. I don't see why not. I think he's better maybe than Garrett Bowles, and Dawkins is what we're looking for. But there's also Jedrick Wills here. He's got 3 other offers. Not a lot of interest in us, but younger player, similar overall. He allowed 10 sacks last year. But still, room to get better, I think, as well. I'll at least see what the offers are on the initial stuff. I'll lower it a little bit. And it looks like we don't have the top offer, but we could definitely afford to offer more. But I think we can save money if we bring in Havenstein, right? Because Havenstein, actually, he wants about the same. So I think we can afford to go after Wills a little bit here. He is faster, like 14 speed faster, so we'll increase this offer a little bit back to around where it was. And now we're the top offer. So maybe he will accept that. Who knows? So we're targeting Reddick, Reed, Andrews, Armstead, and Jedrick Wills. We have the top offer for all of them. And we have signed Hassan Reddick to a 3-year deal. We've signed DJ Reed to a 2-year deal. And we've signed Jedrick Wills to a 3-year contract as well. 3 big signings, takes away most of our cap room, but this is huge. These 3 guys should be huge upgrades for this team. And for David Andrews, the Commanders and Patriots have upped their offers for him. Armstead, we still have the top offer for him, so I feel comfortable where we're at there, but I'm going to increase our offer for Andrews. So we go to more of a player-friendly deal, increase it by a little bit more. Yeah, it's not increasing that much. I don't know if I want to go any further because we're not even going to get guaranteed. So I'm going to pull out of the running for him. We'll stay in for Armstead, obviously. We're going to go back to looking at available linemen at guard, center, and right guard. Do I like Nick Harris better? He is a scheme fit over Brian Allen. Let's take a look at his player card. He allowed only 3 sacks last year. Brian Allen allowed more. As for, anything else, I can't really tell. But for his ratings, at the very least, decent. Strength, the power's not that high, but finesse is actually in a pretty decent spot. Interesting stuff. Yeah, you know what? Sure. Why not get a younger player on your offensive line? I'll give him a 2-year deal, see what he's got for 2 seasons, and go from there. We still have Harold Fitzsimmons, who can easily fit in at center behind him. They're both similar overall, and Fitzsimmons is younger, but is not as good. I also want to address running back real quick because Elijah Mitchell's here. There's not really any great options available. So I kind of want to see what there is in the draft. There's a couple of first rounders, then there's a second rounder, but then after that it just drops off right into day 3. So there's not a whole lot of great options here. There is DeAndre Morrison, first round talent. Decent awareness to protect the ball when getting hit. Needs to work on concentration drops. Fights for every inch, avoids big hits. Excels at creating yards after the catch though. Great speed, solid strength, elite acceleration. Third in the 40-yard dash. Really agile. Good ball carrier vision. C, juke move. B, spin move. D, stiff arm. C, trucking. B to D, carrying. So, not like a great prospect by any means. There's also Channing Beal, who we know a bit more about, it looks like, but he covets ball security over everything else. Needs to work on the concentration drops. Fights for every yard. Okay, similar player. Great speed. Solid acceleration, slower than the other guy. I think I like the first guy better. Then Jose Dubose. This guy's a power back, which we don't really need. We need a faster player. So, I think I might just go after a guy like Khalil Herbert or Mitchell for like a 1-year or 2-year deal, see what they can bring to the team, and then try to address it in the draft if I don't like the options that we have going forward. But Mitchell, how has he done in recent seasons? He's coming off a year where he only had 22 attempts, 3.0 per carry. Before that, he had 3.5 in San Francisco. Don't like those numbers. Khalil Herbert averaged 3.9 this past year. Only had 50 carries. I think I like that better. He's only had really 1 down year so far in his career at 3.4 a carry, but that was when he was with Chicago, who was they're always bad. So I think I feel comfortable going after him on a cheap deal. He's got another offer out there, but I think if we just go neutral, offer 2-year deal, see what the other offer is. And it's way higher than the Bengals one. So I think we're good there. And I do want to sign a fullback this time around. I think it's important for us to have a good fullback. I want to give a card here the cheapest possible deal. We evaluated. Now we have brought in Eric Armstead on a 1-year contract. Yes, sir. Huge signing for the Rams. We also get Khalil Herbert and Nick Harris. So far, we haven't really missed on guys that we wanted, except for David Andrews. Big signings here in LA. And other than that, I don't really have any other ideas for signings that I want to make right now. I kind of like who we got. We have plenty of cap room, which we can use maybe for a trade or something during the season. But I like this team as is. We got 3 running backs now, which I think is enough. So we can just try and get Ricard here and then go from there. And we have signed Ricard here in Stage 3. So that's going to wrap up our signings for now. I like who we got. I don't think we got to make any more signings besides who we already got. So Let's see who has been signed. Let's just finish the last eval offer, see what's up, and we'll move forward 1 week. The free agency recap. Here are all the big signings. We got the top guy, Hassan Reddick, to join this pass rush. The Patriots brought in Amari Cooper. Tua is heading to Pittsburgh. DeAndre Hopkins to Indianapolis. Derek Brown to the Colts. Greg Newsome to Carolina. We brought in DJ Reed. Wuzier over to Arizona. Stephon Gilmore also to Arizona. Both former Cowboys heading over there. Kenny Moore II in Minnesota. Justin Reed there as well. Jabril Peppers going to the Colts as well. Adrian Amos to New York. We signed Eric Armstead. The Patriots brought in David Andrews. Deion Dawkins to New York. Deontay Johnson to Arizona. Grover Stewart leaves for Atlanta. Jerome Baker goes to Indy. Jimmy Ward goes to Philadelphia. Micah Hyde to Detroit. Rashad Bateman to Carolina. Teron Johnson to Carolina. BJ Hill to Carolina. Elijah Mitchell to Tennessee. Elijah Moore to Carolina. Garrett Bowles to Tennessee. Harrison Phillips to Carolina. Jared Goff to New York. And more. But those were your biggest signings. Khalil Mack heads to Kansas City. Here's a couple more. But the Panthers, us, and the Jets, and the Vikings had a lot of signings in this offseason. Same with the Colts too. And the Cardinals. Now we've got private workouts, and I think... Just check defensive tackles first. Who do we want info on? Who can we use info on? This top guy, probably not, because he doesn't look very good. So, not going to waste it on Carlos Stark. I think we'll use it on some run-stopping defensive ends who can be transferred over to defensive tackles, because I'm not really a fan of those defensive tackles. So we'll use one on Warren Terry, who's a run stopper. We'll use one on Morgan Williams here, who is... I mean, there are a lot of defensive linemen here, like a lot of first-round talent. Morgan Williams is going to fall to the late first round, early second, so use it on him, and then we'll use it on a running back just to get a little bit more info on them. I think... Why not do it for DeAndre Morrison, right? You know, just see what he's got. It looks like for Morgan Williams, we got him up to 100% now. So he's a physical player with bone-crushing hits, uses power and leverage to get past people. He's got A block, shed D finesse moves, C power moves, A tackle, with elite strength and marginal speed. So, a guy that's going to help you in the run game. Not a whole lot else, but definitely solid player starting out and can play defensive tackle at 319 pounds and being 6'6". Then we used it on Warren Terry, who is slightly smaller at 6'4", 302, but can still play D tackle. He's also just a bone-crushing hitter, uses power, got A block, shed defense, but he's got B power moves. So, elite strength, solid speed. Warren Terry is better. If you go for a D tackle with your 13th overall pick, you probably go Warren Terry and move him to defensive tackle. That is a dangerous defensive line if you can draft him. He also used it on the running back, DeAndre Morrison. So he's got A vision, B carrying, B break tackle. Great speed, elite acceleration, as we know. Definitely not as bad as we thought, but first round level, I'm not so sure. And now it is time to start the NFL draft. The biggest moment so far in this franchise comes right here. The Texans have the first overall pick, and with it, they select left end Devontae Holiday out of LSU. Now, apparently they are going pass rusher again with their second pick because they have the top two. Do they do it again to beef up their defense? The answer is yes, they take Nick Peterson. Now, we are on the clock, and there is no question who I am taking. It is the quarterback, Damon Craig. Welcome to Los Angeles. Here is our new franchise quarterback. And he's got hitting dev, 96 throw power, 78 speed. This guy is going to be elite. Out of Oklahoma, 23 years old, right-handed. Let's go. A awareness, B break sack, B carrying, B deep accuracy, A short, A to be medium, A play action, A under pressure, C throw on the run. I cannot wait to see this guy play. We'll find out more about him later on. But what a huge pick for this team. We have the franchise quarterback now on the roster. The rebuild is really coming together. The Buccaneers took a quarterback last year and now they're going offensive line to help him out. George Johnson over there in Tampa. With pick 5, the Packers take Christian Elfman, another right end. So 3 pass rushers here in the top 5. Pick 6, another pass rusher, Ty Blackwell out of Washington. He goes to Seattle to stay in his home state, or his alma mater state. Good for him. And then Gary Thompson goes to the Saints way earlier than teams thought, but now he's the franchise quarterback over in New Orleans out of California. Next up are the Commanders with pick 8. They select wide receiver Leonard Mills to pair with Terry McLaurin and Curtis Samuel. The LA Chargers take Mason Daly, the left end. Pick number 10, the last in this top 10, is the Panthers. They select Demarius Roberson. A lot of left and right ends going early on. The next pick are the Steelers. They select Daniel Payne, another one. This time out of Louisville. The Jets pick 12. DeAndre Morrison, the running back. And now we're on the clock. And I think we still need to address defensive tackle. I think it's still a need that this team has. And I really liked Warren Terry. He's still on the board. And I'm going after him. Welcome to the team, Warren Terry, your new defensive tackle behind Eric Armstead. And he's got hitting dev, 92 strength, 79 speed. 2 solid first-round picks. We'll learn more about him later on. But he does have that A block shot and B power moves with A play rec 2, which is very nice to have early on. Next up are the Ravens. They select Tony Torres, the left tackle from Oregon. Then D'Angelo Jenkins, another pass rusher, goes to the Tennessee Titans. James McCollum goes to the Niners. The Jags select Kyler Franklin. The Dolphins take quarterback Johnny Murphy to replace Tua Tagovailoa, their new franchise quarterback. The Eagles take Carlos Stark, who I was not a fan of. The Colts take Tevin Palmer. The Raiders take Jim Mitchell. Then Jermaine Douglas, the top corner, goes to the Raiders. The Giants take Clifton Church. Ronald Sharper, the top tight end, goes to goes to the Falcons, while Daniel Loomis, a left tackle, goes to Arizona. Patriots, who made a couple of key signings in the offseason, bring in free safety Calvin Johnson. Megatron on the other side of the ball, I guess. Next up, the Bears. They take Reggie Fowler. The Bengals select Carlos McLean. Broncos next up. They take Victor Curry. Cowboys would pick 30. Marcus Gregory to shore up their offensive line. Detroit goes for Salvador Lopez out of USC. And the last pick of the first round is Peter Graham out of UCF. Going over to the champion Kansas City Chiefs. Morgan Williams just went second overall in the second round to the Browns, so he's off the board now. Our next pick comes all the way in the third round at pick 13, so I don't really have anybody else on our draft board besides those top guys that I focused on, so now we're trying to think about who do you even bring in? What position do we need help at the most? Well, one player I like here is Cassius Oakley. B catching, A to C man coverage, B press, C zone coverage. Savvy defender, has a good motor, looks to rip the ball, but does not have good discipline. He's 5'10", only marginal speed, but elite acceleration. Okay, I'm going to pass on him. That's why he's dropping. But the coverages were actually pretty solid. There's also Lynn Bates and Terry Hackett here. So let's take a look at these guys. B-man coverage, B-press, D-zone. Good discipline, won't get flagged much. Marginal speed, marginal strength. Great acceleration, good jumping. B-press. That helps out with the speed, but being so slow is not going to be good. Terry Hackett's, what about him? Aggressive ball hawk. He's got solid speed, elite agility, A catching. I like him better despite the F-zone coverage. I'm going to go with him. We can get him, have a nice, fifth depth player, still have that young corner to work on besides Richards. I think this makes sense for our team. We take him. He's normal depth, but he has 90 speed, 95 jumping, 85 change of direction. We'll see more of his skills later on. Now in the 4th round, including this pick, we have 5 total left, and I think I might go for some offensive linemen here in the middle of the draft because we only have 1 right tackle, 1 center, and I think that could be key. We might go running back as well later on, just as a 4th option, and then cut players after that. But so let's look at some left tackles here and whatnot, and decide which one to go for. All right, this guy's a good pass blocker at right tackle. The finesse could be good for run block. Run block overall is not very good, but he's a backup. The A3 projection. I think I like him more than some of these other guys who don't look as good in pass protection. I'm going to go Daniel Griffin here with our first mid-round pick. 82 strength, 64 speed. We'll see. And now, got Connor Carey here in the 5th round. Not a good run blocker. Pass block looks to be kind of decent early on. And run block, I think, can be worked on. I don't think it'll be too bad. Nothing is an F. So, go Connor Carey, get another solid backup, or not solid, but just a decent backup. We'll see what his actual skills are, but 86 strength, that's good. Okay, now we're seeing that there are a lot of receivers that have dropped into the 6th round. Ranges are pretty big on some of them, but for a guy like Brandon Randolph out of Michigan State, a physical guy, see catch in traffic, good strength, decent speed, good jumping. Ooh, really bad route running. Good release, though. Good spec catch. I mean, why not go after one of these guys who's fallen? Take a chance on a 6th round pick. Why not go with Randolph, Another guy kind of like Tremaine Donald. So if he gets hurt, bring in Randolph and can kind of fill that role. Well, at least see what he's got, He could get cut. Who knows? And then for running back, trying to find a good guy to step in, but it is difficult to find him. This guy is one of the faster guys I've been able to find, but it's not looking like we're going to be able to find, a good option here, but I wasn't really expecting to here in the late 6th round. You know what? We're going to go with Devon Shade here. 87 speed. Our last pick is here, but I think I might just trade this one away because I don't really want to draft anybody else. Our roster is pretty filled. So, this is for the 6th round pick, 2025. You might just trade it for a 6 next year, We're going to 7 this year. I don't want another pick this year. Let's just go with the Raiders pick. Now we're going to send to the draft, or send the end. And the draft is over. Let's see what we got here. Let's see David Craig and Warren Terry. Draft recap. View contract details. Damon Craig is an 81 overall to start. He's an 81. He's an 81. Yes. So much better than Bennett or Stafford ever were these first 2 seasons. The rookie out of Oklahoma. 96 throw power, 81 deep accuracy, 89 medium, 87 short. Great awareness. Can already throw on the run. 80 play action, 81 under pressure, 75 break sack. Good speed, acceleration. Oh man. This is going to be so fun to watch, man. I can't wait. And I'm going to get some preseason highlights together, folks. You damn well know. He's already the 12th ranked quarterback in the entire league, top 6%. You gotta love it. You gotta love that, man. He's got 87 injury, so keep that in mind. And he does have the QB of the future and the day one starter tags, because of course he does. But he's wearing number 5 this season. We might change that, but for now he's 5. Then you got the other first round pick, Warren Terry, who's only a 73, but he does still have hidden development. A 73 overall run stopper and a 72 pass rusher. So he's got 73 power moves, 78 blocks, and 83 tackle, 92 strength. That is really good if we can put him at D tackle. That's going to be huge for him. 80 hit power, 84 injury, 85 toughness, 71 agility. Really, really solid pick here. And I'm going to move him immediately to D tackle and see what he goes up or down to. Usually players go up, though, when you move them to a different position. And for him, he goes up to a 76. Yes, sir. And he's got day one starter, but he's not going to start over Armstead, but he'll still get plenty of playing time. At least I hope. We also drafted cornerback Terry Hackett, and he is actually a pretty decent overall. 69 overall corner at man-to-man. So 90 speed, 77 man coverage. Horrible zone coverage, as we knew. Play rec is at 63, but good acceleration, good agility. Press is kind of decent starting out. 80 catching, though, and 96 jumping. Aggressive play ball tendency. Love seeing that. Then we drafted right tackle Daniel Griffin, a 67 overall pass protector. Run blocking is horrible across the board besides finesse, but he is immediately a pretty solid pass blocker for a guy who's never even played. So 74, 75 across the board for pass blocking, 82 strength, good awareness. So honestly, pretty solid pick, I think. Then we had our first miss of the draft, and that was Connor Carey, who is out of West Virginia. Pass blocking, not as good. Run blocking is better than the other guys was. But honestly, I mean, he's really not that bad if you can work on these ratings, especially the run block power and finesse. Otherwise, I mean, this is a pretty good starting level, I think, for a guy that is going to be probably a career backup at the very most. And Brandon Randolph, the guy who fell to the 6th round and was supposed to go the top 3 rounds, is a 67 overall rookie. 87 speed, 80 catching, just below 80 catching traffic. The route running is absolutely horrible. That's got to be why he's so low rated. Because the spec is actually pretty good. So is the jumping. The release is actually pretty solid at 77. So, I mean, if we can get the ball in its hands, he might be able to do some things with 87 change of direction, some juke moves and spin moves. We'll see about him. I think he might make the cut, though. He might make the cut. And our last pick was halfback Devon Shade, 64 overall out of Washington, 87 speed, 72 break tackle. I wish that the ball carrier vision was higher. Same with the spin move and the speed. Otherwise, though, I mean, you know, it's not a terrible pick. It's just that he really just is not going to be a pass catcher at all. He won't give you any element in the passing game whatsoever. What about the rest of the draft, though? The top draft pick was Devontae Holiday, a 74 overall. Nick Peters, a 73 overall. Marco Charleston at the 81, but I think Damon Craig was tied for the highest overall with Charleston, which he is. We had the highest overall player in this draft. What about your fastest players? 95 speed for Barry DeLoach, receiver taken by the Raiders. DeAndre Morrison right behind him. Your strongest player is Terrell Aldridge at 99 strength at D tackle over in Kansas City, but behind him you got Warren Terry at 92. Awesome, with a couple of other players. Your top catcher is Colin Cantwell at 84. Top catch and traffic guy is also him. Top spec catch guy is Kasim Spearman out of Ole Miss. He is going to be playing in Atlanta, by far the best spectacular catch maker. Top short route runner, Ben Hall. Medium route runner, Reggie Connor, tied with Daryl Church. Deep route runner, Leonard Mills, plus Anthony Hammond, who is a corner. That's interesting. If you play both sides of the ball, that could be really cool. Top release, Shaquille Cohn at tight end. That's really interesting. Top jumping guy, Kasim Spearman, followed by Terry Hackett, our corner. that we took. Top throw power goes to Gary Thompson and Damon Craig, both tied at 96. The short accuracy thrower is Roman Sims. Then it's Damon Craig. Top medium accuracy is Damon Craig by far. Top deep accuracy is Gary Thompson, followed by Damon Craig and Brian Stanton. So the Texans took Stanton late, and he's actually not that bad. 65 overall. So they got another rookie quarterback over there. Top pass blocker was Marco Charleston. Top run blocker, Marco Charleston. I think he's by far the best offensive lineman there is. Highest play rate goes to Andrew Bullard, the corner. Highest block shed, Peter Ziegler, followed by Morgan Williams, then Warren Terry. Top finesse moves, Devontae Holiday, followed by Brandon Morris. Top power moves, Darius Saunders, followed by Matthew Choice. Top man coverage, Jermaine Douglas, followed by Andrew Bullard and Terry Hackett. Top zone coverage, Tyron Montgomery, followed by Chad Porter and Calvin Johnson. And then highest intangible grade, Damon Craig, tied with Marco Charleston. Can't ask for more than that. What a draft class we had. Highest size grade, or best size grade, goes to a lot of just linemen at 99. Cool. But what a draft we had. I think it was a great one, besides like 1 or 2 picks. But we had some great ones in Damon Craig, Warren Terry. Terry Hackett's a good pick. So is Griffin. So is Randolph. Huge draft class. Our biggest one yet. And so we enter the preseason of year 3 with the 83 overall defense, 80 overall offense for an 81 overall team. And here is what our lineups look like to start the year in week 1 of the preseason. Now, this is my initial thoughts on what the lineup should be. So we're going to have Wills play at left tackle, Avila to his right, Nick Harris at center, Dodson at right guard, and Cam Robinson moves from left to right tackle. David Parson, of course, your top tight end, followed by Austin Hooper and Davis Allen rather. Then at receiver, Cooper Kupp, obviously, Nakua at the 2, Donald at the 3, followed by Tyler Johnson, and then the rookie Randolph here, Brandon Randolph. So he'll get some playing time, because we did not bring back Outwell or Scotty Miller. Then running back, you've got Khalil Herbert, followed by Kyron Williams and Zach Evans, and then Devon Shade. And then at quarterback, you obviously have Damon Craig, our hidden dev star quarterback, 3rd overall. On the defensive side of the ball, here is who you got, and Byron Young's an X Factor now! Yo! What? He's an X Factor! Byron Young, he's here! Relentless. The most tenacious defenders beat their blocks by sheer force of will. Their rush move attempts are free when he's in the zone, and he's got adrenaline rush too. Yo, this defense better be scary. Holy crap. Byron Young, let's freaking go, dude. That is huge development. He's going to be so good in about, 1 or 2 years. He's already so good. But then, besides him, you still got Aaron Donald. You signed Hassan Reddick. You signed Eric Armstead. So now you got on your defensive line, Aaron Donald, Armstead, Reddick. And then on the edges, you got Baz Knight and Byron Young. And Baz Knight went down a depth trait, unfortunately. He went down from star to normal. And I'm not going to change it back, Sometimes you just lose that progression, or you lose that thing. He only had 6.5 sacks. Can still get back to star dev. But I still like him. He's still a good player. He will still start, because Reddick's going to play at left end instead. But you got really good pass rushing here. You've also got Warren Terry behind Armstead, and then you got Bobby Brown behind him. We've got really good depth now on this entire defensive line, because you got Hoyt and Nick Hampton. You got Ochon Mathis. You've got Ernest Brown, Kobe Turner. This defense has come a long way in these 2 seasons. And then now our corner, you've got Darius Richards, our X Factor guy in his 2nd season, followed by DJ Reed, Kobe Durant, Duke Shelley. Then you got Hackett, but behind Hackett, you've got Hodges Tomlinson and Darion Kendrick, who are both higher overalls than Hackett is. But Hackett is still really solid, so I think he deserves to get some snaps in those 5 wide situations. Now, Hackett is also by far our best punt returner besides Cooper Kupp at 89, better than Richards was at 82, so he's going to be the new return man for those. And then at specialist, we're going to have Cooper Kupp in the slot, obviously. Williams, the third down back. Herbert, it's a better power back. Donald, the rush D tackle. Young, the rush left end. Duke Shelley in the slot at corner. Basline as your rush right. I might change this to Hassan Reddick if Basline does not perform the first couple of weeks. And then Kenneth Murray has come a long way, and he has surpassed Ernest Jones. So he's now our number 1 linebacker and our best sub linebacker as well for those third down pass coverage situations. So that's your lineup. This team, I feel like, is going to be exciting. And we have a new playbook too. So things are going to look a lot different this year, folks. And I am excited for it. I will see you guys on opening day next time around. As in week 1, we take on our division rival Seattle Seahawks on the road in Lumen Field. That's a big game to start our season. Between now and then, I will put together a couple of highlights from the preseason games, and I'll have those to start the next episode, folks. Are you excited for year 3 in this Rams rebuild? Because I know I damn sure am. I'll see you guys in that year 3 opener next time out. Take care and peace.